Fam! We're making baby Groot, a baby Groot cake. This is cuter than I thought it was gonna be, so I'm excited. Let's get started. Now for this cake, I baked chocolate cake, but I baked it the size of my Groot printout. I just made a tinfoil pan the size of my printout, and it worked, and it was glorious. I cut my cake into 2 equal layers. I placed my Groot printout on top and then cut out the shape using a paring knife. Place some buttercream in the middle and just spread it out using an offset spatula. On went my second layer, and then I placed it onto my cake board. Now I'm just gonna take my paring knife and just carve his face to be more rounded. You know, his face isn't flat, it's like this, so that's the kind of shape I was going for. Not like this, like this. I just kept carving until I was satisfied with his face, and then I moved on to his body. Now for his body, I just made sure that there was a separation between his arms, his belly, and his legs. After I finished carving, I gave him a crumb coat. Just covered the entire cake with buttercream to make sure that none of the crumbs appeared on the final layer of fondant. Whenever I have a fondant cake, I don't like to add too much buttercream because fondant is super sweet, and I also don't like buttercream. I don't like fondant either. I'd rather just eat cake plain. Diabetes runs in my family, guys. Now while I was crumb coating, I actually added more buttercream to correct the bottom of his face. I think I carved out too much. Buttercream corrected that. Thanks, buttercream. I got a history of diabetes, guys. So I placed it into the fridge for 30 minutes to set up, and then it was ready to cover with fondant. First, I'm actually gonna work with 4 different colors of fondant to create Groot's features. Rolled out some green and used a round cookie cutter to create some leaves. I want like 3 or 4 big leaves for his head, and then a couple of smaller leaves for his body. Now I'm rolling out a brown fondant that's a little bit darker than the rest of the fondant that's going to cover his body. And I'm just going to roll these into little lines to become vines on his body as well as his head. I'm using black and white fondant to create 2 eyes, and I'm using some white fondant to create the catch light in his eyes. Catch light is like the sparkle, Mr. Sparkle. You know, the sparkle where the light hits your eye, that. Now I set all of those features aside and then rolled out some brown fondant. So I decided that I wanted to cover different parts of his body separately. So first I'm cutting out a piece to cover his body and his legs. And I decided to score the fondant before I placed it on, just so that there would be some texture already on it when I placed it on. And I'm just using some fondant tools to make sure that there's a separation between his legs and his torso area. I did the exact same thing for his arms, placing on some already scored fondant, making sure that it was in the proper place, and then cutting off the excess. Now for his head, I'm actually using my printout as a guide because I wanted to be very specific about where the lines are on his face. With his body, I kind of just did it randomly, but for his face, you want to make sure the face is perfect. Then I took my fondant, placed the lines exactly where I wanted to be, and just did the exact same process. Used my fondant tools to make sure that I got all the details in his head, smoothened out the sides as well as the bottom, and then just cut off all of the excess. I haven't really done that much fondant work, so whenever I do something, the whole time I'm doing it, I'm just like, please God, please let this turn out right. Now once I finished that, I started adding all of his features with a little bit of vodka. So Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I thought it was really funny. You know, and I love that the opening sequence is Baby Groot just dancing. Man, that was good. Man, they're like the worst parents ever. They brought a baby to a battle. Why would you do that? 4 adults brought a baby to a battle and just let them dance around. Great parenting. Baby Groot was definitely my favorite part of the movie. And I'm glad that this cake turned out so well. He looks like an old man baby. Benjamin Groot Button. You know, the character already is really cute, but then I feel like I made him even cuter. Now when I was getting ready to eat this, I kind of didn't know where to cut into it. I feel like a baby killer. But eventually I just cut into his leg because I knew it would grow back. So I'm curious, have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and how did you feel when they killed off Chris Pratt's character? Well, am I lying? I don't know. Did you watch the movie? I hope you guys enjoyed this. I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe. I'm not really sure which direction my hand's supposed to be pointing, but it's somewhere down there. I'll see you soon. Bye.